Domlink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to part number one of welcome to part welcome to part number one of our election coverage of the 2025, right? So this is just I'm gonna be telling you guys my point of view, very thin point of view. I'm gonna tell you my very thin point of view, and I'm gonna be telling you the X Radio X. I'm gonna be telling you the tool that I'm using to cover it, because I don't know enough for me to be. I don't know enough to be like, oh, yo, I'm a specialist, but I do know enough for me to be like, okay, well, let's talk about it, right? So, I'm not gonna vote. I'm not gonna vote. So do you have? So you see, we're talking about it. Okay. So we're gonna be listening to Radio X. Now, Radio X is a French Canadian radio channel. The reason why we're using the radio channel is because this radio channel is my favorite. It really changed my life in most ways. I'm gonna be doing a small recap because I told this story multiple times already. But small recap wise, it was just a radio that had an opinion. So, oh my god, I have to tell you the whole fucking story is gonna be long. Okay, so let's try to recap it. Right? I got a pimple. There you go. I'm gonna do it at the same time as popping a pimple. So, I was broke, didn't have TV, didn't have Wi-Fi, listening to radio. All the radio show felt somewhat scripted. Felt like you're reading the news versus telling me the news. I don't care if you read the news. I'm gonna tell you a secret, guys. You're telling me the news? You're reading me the news? I can also read. I know it's hard to believe. God forsake me. But I can also read, which is, I know, quite impressive. Listen, I put my jeans or my pantalon. What is a pantalon in English? I put my underwear one step at a time, right? But then I went with Radio X and I started listening to Radio X and I was obsessed with it because it seemed like people just coming along talking about it, and they were angry and they were opinionated. So this is why we're using this, just because of the historical value in my life. I was a kid, a 22-year-old kid that was too broke, right? And I didn't have an opinion, I didn't have a voice, and those people were my voice. So is it the perfect place? Is it the perfect option? No. Is it kind of good? Yes. So basically what we're going to do is going to be using the tool that we've been using in the past, right? So I'm super excited. Now, this is in French. I'm not going to do it in English because I don't think the coverage is going to be different. Stats are stats, numbers are number, who gives a shit, right? Now, technically speaking, I'm going to be completely honest, this is my very first time. So I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. Right? If it's if it's from an hour to hour, like, hey, this okay, I'm being concise, but I'm nervous because it's my first time, right? It's like losing my political, oh my god, losing my political virginity. Losing my political virginity, which is crazy. Holy shit. Okay, so let's put it like that, right? I don't know how it's gonna happen. In my world, in my perfect world, in my perfect vision of an entity of making political content, I would prefer if they said, okay, well, this state, right? This state would be good. This state voted red. This state voted blue, right? Now, ultimately speaking, I don't know. I have no clue how this is gonna happen, right? I would like it more precise, but I don't know how precise I want it to be. That's what I'm trying to say. My political views. Well, technically speaking, I didn't give a shit about the election. To be quite honest, I didn't give a shit about the people representing us. I'm sorry. However, we did watch the debates because I was depressed and I was like looking for something to watch on YouTube. And it was a crazy story. If you tell me, are you gonna be watching the debate? My answer would have been no. We were depressed. We were watching things on YouTube, and I saw, and I know it's gonna be hard to believe, but it's the truth. I saw on YouTube there was a political debate on CBC. Sorry, CNC is something completely different. It's like quite CBC, and the video, I don't know how old it was. I don't know if it was a day old, but it was posted. I think it was like 16 or 17 hours So like, okay, let's watch this, right? If this is today, it's very late in the day, but it's today. So I watched it. So now my point of view. Okay, so we have four main parties. So Carney, Poliev, Blanchette, and Blanchette, which is French. Blanchette, we're gonna call him Blanchette because I can speak fucking French, right? So let's speak French. On a Blanchette, and we have Jagmeet Singh. Okay, so my opinion, I thought Jagmeet Singh was the guy that represented me the best, because some of his ID are really good. Some of his the way he talks is really good, right? I'm sorry to say this is gonna be extremely racially charged, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Jagmeet Singh, I think he would be one of the see, I'll be completely honest. Out of his party, right, which is the NDP, New Democratic Party. I think there was two people that I really enjoyed from this party. The first was Jack Layton, which was a fucking genius. Nobody gave a fuck about NPD before. He came in, everybody gave a fuck about NPD. They were that close to winning. And since then we had, I think it's 2 or 3 people that were supposed to replace him because he died, sadly, died from a cancer or something like that. And I didn't care. Then we have Jagmeet Singh. And at first I don't care about Jagmeet Singh, because again, I don't care about the party. But I'm starting to listen to the guy, you know what? I'm like, okay, well, you know what? He's kind of making sense. You know what? I kind of agree with that, right? I think a lot of what I'm hearing from Jagmeet Singh is, oh, we want a Canadian. So sadly, I think that if Jagmeet Singh was white, I think if he was the picture-perfect Canadian, people would vote for him more. Now, do I think that? Okay, so my point of view is a bit complex. Do I think that a Canadian, it has to be a Canadian? I would prefer a Canadian for sure. Do I think an immigrant could do an amazing party leaders? Absolutely. So the thing is, I wouldn't have an immigrant that's been there for 40 years. But Jagmeet Singh had been in Canada. I think he grew up here. And he knows the struggle of being a Canadian. He knows the reality of being a Canadian, right? And Jagmeet Singh, I had the very strong feeling that he is possibly one of the best leader we have, because he's strict, he's just, right? He's strict, he's just, and he could tell people to fuck off. Like, for example, Trump, fuck off. Do I think that Trump deserves a fuck off? That's not. We're not talking about American politics, right? So I do like Singh. I really like Singh. My problem with Singh is the party in itself. The party in itself has zero experience. They never were elected. So, okay, so the way it works in Canada is there's 2 main parties. There's liberals and conservative, right? And then people are saying, oh, the liberals are spending, then the conservative, they're too strict, right? So you kind of, you do 4 years of conservative, and then you do 4 years of liberals, right? NPD, we don't know how's going to happen, so I don't know about that. Now, the second one is Blanchette. I love Blanchette. I think Blanchette is, actually, Jagmeet Singh and Blanchette are the 2 best, in my opinion. I would be happy with both of them winning. I would be really happy. I would be personally really happy. My preferred version is either Blanchette or Singh, a minority party, so they don't have enough votes to pass laws. But I would like an alliance between Blanchette and Singh. If they could go together, if the 2 parties could go together and then have the majority being, okay, well, for example, right, Jagmeet Singh has 28%, Blanchette has 24%, right? Now together they have 50% of the vote, so they have the monopoly of votes, right? Now the thing is with Blanchette is very pro Quebec, which is good for me. But do I think that he would be pro Canada? No. And do I think that Blanchette would be able to take care of Canada? No. Do I think that Blanchette would be able to step? I'm gonna be completely honest. My main problem is Trump's, because Trump's is from the neighborhood country, right? You know, even him today, we're talking about Mark Carney. We're watching this, right? That's him. I don't think I'm gonna make videos tonight. I think I'm gonna be focusing on that. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I think I'm gonna be listening to that. I think I'm gonna be doing that. We have like a 2 or 3 hours. I can take care of that. No problem. Orange. Delicious. So Blanchette, I think he's good for us, but I don't think he's good worldwide, globally. Poliev, I do like him. But you see, Poliev, I like the person, but I don't like the politics. Politically speaking, he's a bit too righteous. He's a bit too like, okay, well, this is my way or the highway. There's no instances of. It's complex. There's no instances of a something to negotiate. My way or the highway. What I say goes, and if you're not happy, fuck you, right? Poliev, it's that's the thing. That's the thing with him. I don't know how it's gonna happen. I don't know if he would be good. Now the retrospect that he makes is actually quite good, because you want somebody that says no, this is my way or the highway for other countries. But then there's gonna be something that's gonna happen with Poliev, and I fear it's people like gonna be like, okay, well, you know what? You don't want to work with us? Fuck you. And then he's gonna be put aside just because he's an asshole, right? Poliev is an asshole. Now, when I'm saying that Poliev is an asshole, am I saying that he's a bad asshole? No. I really do believe that such a thing as a good asshole exists. I really do believe that this exists. However, am I gonna pinpoint the fact that, oh well, I want him to win. Oh well, I think he's the man for the action. No. No. I'm saying that there's such a thing as honest asshole, as good asshole, people that are gonna be like, hey, this guy is rude, this guy is tough. See, when when I was young, I'm gonna be honest, my father was an asshole. My father, and I love my father, but he was an asshole. He was an asshole. He was strict. He would treat me so much stricter than, he was more righteous than a lot of the other parents. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with that, right? As I grew up, I understood what he wanted. I understood what he was trying to do, and I think it's a right thing to do. But at the same time, I was like, dude, this guy's an asshole. My father's an asshole, right? But then his righteousness is being strict. That was what I needed, right? That was the most beneficial thing for me. So yeah. So basically speaking, that's it for Poliev. His politics, I'm not really a fan of it. But then I'm afraid of US because they're our neighbors. And Poliev is the best guy to say fuck you to Trump, right? And again, it does seem like every single time I'm supposed to say fuck you to Trump, but it's not that. Trump is gonna see weakness. Look at how he treated Trudeau. He treated him like garbage, like a puppy, right? Now, last one, Carney. Carney, I'm not a pro Carney. I don't like Carney. I think Carney in himself, I don't really know the guy. I think he's okay. I think he's a better choice. Right? Okay, here I am with Carney. Do I think that Carney is a good candidate? No. Do I think that he's better than Justin Trudeau? Yes. My problem with Carney is he's saying that, oh, I'm a liberal, which is the part that we had. We're having the results now. I'm going to be doing a full coverage. Okay, so fast. Carney, is liberal. I don't mind liberal, but they do spend a lot. And right now we have 10 years of spending with no care. So we need to put money back in our coffin. And I know it's not a good word to use coffin, but it's in the vault. I guess the vault is actually a really good. It's a really good. Give me a sec. I'm gonna do the tower. Duration bonus. Okay, cooldown. Let's do cooldown. No. Okay. Good. Okay. Perfect. So lastly, Carney. The liberals. I think Carney would be a good president, but I don't want it to be liberals. Carney. My father said something that was really smart. Carney tells us that he's gonna be different. Carney tells us that he is gonna be the one out of the bunch that's gonna do everything differently. However, he's using the same people. He has the same team. So how different can you be when your team is the exact same way? And that's pretty much it.